if you look at my life today and the person that I was before, I was very talented. I had very good music, which is part of the reason we are together. But then there are things that still had not happened into my life. But there are still, things that had not opened up for me, just because I was not with you.
But do you believe that maybe along the way, people change in their marriages?
Of course, people do change, because it's not like sex every day. 3 years later,
except for
But I'm thinking, people do change, and it is like, babe, why you found me? I'm not the person that I was when you found me. No. Okay, nilikuwa first kamkonde. Number 2, I didn't have a lot of money like I have today. Yo, what's happening, good people? Guardian Angel, Jim Anagasa Music Doctor.
Esther Musila.
And this is the Love Wins Show. It's been a while, guys. We, have had our time just settling, different, spaces. Because Babu, mambo ili change, a lot of things changed. When we started the Love Wins Show, all of us were in the house. My wife was working from home.
Yes.
So we had a lot of time together, and tulikuwa na enough time ya kuweza kufanya the Love Wins Show. So later, went back to work. Na mimi nikaingia kazi pia fully. So, we had to now just be able to settle in, plan, and see where we can be able to fix the show.
Yes, I miss our days, because we had lots of time together. But I guess it's also good that we bonded a lot during that time. And now we can go our separate ways. I go to my work and you do your thing. So we're back. Love wins.
Love wins. So through the years, a lot of things have happened. And we're now on our 4th year in marriage. Nadhani sasa niko certified kuambia mtu kama marriage works or not. In the initial years, I wouldn't tell anyone if marriage works or don't, because I didn't know, a lot of things. But now I think I understand better, what it means to be committed to your marriage, and to be committed to your spouse, and to just be able to be friends, to learn each other.
To fight sometimes,
and how to go about your fights, and understanding each other and all that stuff. And it feels great. It feels great that we've also been able to grow together in our different spaces of both work and just life generally. We have things that we can say, God has been faithful to us. We have been able to work hard enough to get ourselves somewhere where we desired to be.
And also sometimes, I think about it, and I wonder, it's possible to actually just go through life the way you never planned it to be. And I think that has been one of my greatest joys, that I have been able to live my life happy in marriage.
Are you happy?
Oh, very happy. Undoubtedly happy. And just a word of encouragement to people who are going into relationships now. It can work. Marriage can work. Yes.
Marriage is actually a good thing. Don't you think?
Oh, it is. and speaking from my point of view, and this is something I keep saying to myself, that I am at a place in my life where I now understand what actually being married is about. Maybe because in my previous relationships, I got married when I was young. So I never got to really enjoy being a wife. And maybe because I wasn't given that opportunity, I was young, had the kids when I was young, so it was about other people. But now I am able to enjoy being a wife and being treated like a wife. So big ups to you, man.
Yeah, it's great. I think also for me, because my perspective or what I thought things will be like when I get married was different from what it is. Because for me, that commitment to someone else and to be able to just be in a place where some of the things I know that I have the authority to decide and do, but then I have to consult and to have a conversation around the things that I plan to do. It was different back then because I always felt I will do what I want to do and I want to do it. But I feel like our marriage has grown me, even in terms of just that personal maturity and self-discipline, knowing that I just don't wake up and do things the way I want. That is also discipline on its own. Considering I had a free life before our marriage, and I think most of us run from that space of responsibility, and for most of us it's that freedom that is too good sometimes to let go. And I feel like I have discovered that even being in that space of freedom, there are then spaces that you can never be able to get into, as far as your purpose and your living to the fullness of your life is concerned. There are spaces, there are things you'll never be able to unlock unless then you get into that space of responsibility and discipline and just commitment. Because if you look at my life today and the person that I was before, I was very talented. I had very good music, which is part of the reason we are together. But then there are things that still had not happened into my life, but there are still things that had not opened up for me, just because I was not with you, or I was not committed to someone. So I think it's a good place of growth when you look at it from now the perspective of maturity, and from a mature perspective, it is a good place to be, being committed. And even the Bible itself says that whoever finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. Favor, the way I interpret it or the way I look at it, is being in a place where we have many people selling, say, meat, say butcheries, right? Because like stalls, utapata a whole stall, there are people who are selling nyama and there are people who are selling different stuff, or even kibanda. But favor is now when people will pass so many shops to come to yours. You understand? That's favor. So that is something I can never be able to obtain unless I find a wife. And even how the Bible has interpreted the idea of a wife being a helper. I believe for the time that we've been together, I believe also is just for you to be able to help me to become the person that I am supposed to become.
Yeah, interestingly, when you say that, having lived, even before I met you, having lived a life where I was my own boss, I didn't have to take instructions from anybody. I think it was very easy for me to adjust and now have some authority in my life. I know that there are things that I used to do that I now can't do, which you know. And and I think that transition for me is because I think I was so committed to this relationship that it had to work. And had to work not because I'm forcing it to work, but because things are just playing out themselves. I mean, if there are habits that you had, you drop. You know, if there are things that I see and I decide this doesn't fit, I drop. So you know, you go shedding off things that were habits or things that you thought you couldn't live without. And it has taught me that in life you just have to choose who you want to become and live your purpose. And this morning I got a text from someone, and you know, they were just telling me, you know, ever since you met Guardian, things have really changed. And this was the second message. I got another one yesterday, and I said to them, you know, I think I am actually living my purpose in his life. So I'm so grateful to God.
Man, you are, baby. Because I don't know. I don't remember a time when and for me, it was really hard for me even before to just be able to be anyone's friend, because I used to like spend all my time just alone. So we've really been friends, and I wouldn't say it has been hard for me to adjust into, you know, being your husband. Like you said, things have played, and of course there are many misconceptions, you know, and people feeling so. How does it happen? What happens with you guys in your house? Do you feel like you're the one who has more authority? And I looked at some guys the other day commenting on a photo. It was so stupid, you know. Like, you know how I was wearing a trouser without a belt, and you had one with a belt, and they go like, it feels like you're the one who has more authority. So I'm thinking, so Mshipi. So Mshipi is squeezing on authority. You understand? And it's just funny. It's just funny how there have been a lot of misconceptions, which is of course the expected case. But it's amazing how we've been able to live together for the last 4 years. Very happily, and you know, for me it's been growth and just a lot of amazing experiences in life. And
talking about that, I realized, and this is something that I'm the kind of person who talks to myself. And when I look at my life and I say, you know, you've given me the opportunity at my age to be a wife. You know, when people refer to relationships as being a wife, the roles that you play in your husband's life. This for me brings it out. Like, I am actually a wife. I am given the roles. I mean, it comes out in me naturally to just be a wife. And this comes from how you treat me, the respect that you give me, the friendship that we have. You know, me being older than you has never made me feel that I have any kind of authority. You are still, and you are the head of the family, you know. So a lot of people will think that, oh, because Esther is older, she has the say, you know. No.
Yeah, I think also just to be able to because we used to have so many questions, and we would have people reaching out to us and going like, you guys inspire us, and I'm in a relationship like yours. What would I do, or if I had gotten this kind of treatment or reaction from our parents? What would I do? And I think now I'm in a better position to just be able to highlight a few things that I have noted in our relationship. Sometimes most of these things that or most of the life that we live in our relationship is in our heads, okay? And therefore you realize that if someone has to be authoritative, it has nothing to do with age, okay? If you have a woman who's like tough-headed, akona kichwa ngumu, it has nothing to do with how old you are, and we have people fighting in their marriages, even who are married to like as far as people are concerned, the appropriate like age gap. You understand? So I think it is more of what you decide, and more of how you relate to each other than even the things that we look at. Okay. For me, I have always wanted to look beyond being the man, like wanting to force my authority to you. You understand?
And for me, I don't think it would have worked, because I am also an independent mind.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in a relationship where I feel like
you're doing it. Yeah, you're doing things because I'm trying to exercise authority. You understand? No. So that will be like more of acting than being in a relationship. True. So for me, I have never gotten to a place where I felt like I need to exercise authority, and it flows very naturally. Sometimes we even have to argue about me serving my own food, because I'm not the kind of a person who will come into the house and I want to just sit there and now wait for you to come and serve me so that it feels like I have authority.
But when you say that, and this is something that I noticed, and because sometimes you like to cook, because I don't eat dinner. I don't eat dinner, so. And because most of your dinner is ugali, and you want to do a quick something, and this is something I noticed with you. I don't know where you got it from, but this is a habit that you have, that you will, after making something, you will ask me to serve you. And I found that really interesting, and I'm thinking, this man is actually giving me the opportunity to, because you would have just gone and served and come and sit down and eat. But I would want to know what makes you do that.
Because I don't want also to make you feel like I am still that kind of a guy who can do things on their own, and not just to make you. I think I do it for myself, so that I don't start living in our house like you don't exist, Okay. And I don't give myself that feeling that even if she were not here, I would still be able to do things on my own. There's no way I would sit with you in the kitchen for us to cook and tell stories, then have you not do at least something. You understand? And it's just it's for my good and for our good, but it doesn't have a key explanation around it or something.
I know, and now it brings me sometimes when you do that, I ask.
Now when I serve,
I'm like, why did you serve yourself? Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So, babe, I've had a lot of people writing to me, and we just want to put you in a place of openness. You can be able to actually write to us when you want to just get to be inspired or to get to understand how we do our stuff. So a lady wrote to me and said, I am in a relationship like yours. my man is younger than me, and our parents are against him. So how would you, as a parent and as a wife, where would you want to place your parents if your parents were alive today and they were against me? How would you have done things? What would have happened?
Wow. I think first, for me, I would have been disappointed in them for not respecting my wishes, because it is me who is in this relationship. And as much as we want to respect our parents and honor them, because the Bible says that we must honor the parents, I think I would take time with them just to show them who you are, make them understand that this is the path that I want to take. And it is my life, you know. And I am comfortable being with this person. Yeah.
Do you feel like there are people who are suffering in marriages because they made the decisions for their parents?
Many of them. Because for me, I think, and I'm thinking the way I was brought up, I think we were allowed to just be who we are.
Yeah.
And I keep saying to myself, I wish my parents were alive to meet you even. Because speaking from my point of view, they would never have had a problem. Because they trust me to make the right decisions. And even if it doesn't work, it would have been life.
I think judging from the kind of a relationship I've had with like your uncles, you know, how they treat me and how they respect me, tells a bit of, you know, the kind of reception I would have had even from your parents. But then now this is a person who even gets to a point of being disowned by their parents. There are cases that, you know, guys get to be disowned by their parents. So we are here now in a dilemma, because again, you think about the things that like parents have gone through, which are normally the manipulations, or probably just, you know, from the space of being a human being, you think of what your parents have gone through because of you, and now you've gotten to a place where you want to get married and you're being disowned. What do you think? What do you think you'd have done if it were you, or what do you think is the right thing then for parents to get to start doing?
I think parents should just let their children be, because like it says in the Bible, you shall leave your mother and father and find a wife husband. Mistakes are there in marriages. If it doesn't work, you know, but allow your children to just be able to be with the people they want. Okay, there are extremes that are really extremes. But I think people should just be allowed to marry whoever it is they want, because
you know,
this is
now
going to be someone I have chosen. You will not choose for me. And when you look at some of the relationships that you have been forced onto a partner, you can't be married for your parents, because they are not the ones in this marriage. You're just making someone else's child miserable. So for me, I think, unless you have a different opinion.
No, my opinion, you know, because us guys are in this relationship now, we of course will be biased to ourselves. And think about what like favors us. But then I look at several different things in regards to things to do with marriage, okay? and you see, we have had cases where our parents would want their kid or their child to remain in marriage, and this would be the advice of either the mother or the father, are saying, your father used to beat me up seriously, but I never left him. Okay? So I realized then from that kind of a statement that your mother would want you, or your father would want you to stay in that relationship because they did stay. What probably that parent will not consider is the way your husband used to beat you up is not the same way this other one is beating you up. You understand? Like how your mother used to be beaten up is not the same way you're being beaten up. That's one. Number two, this man is not your father. Okay? So the way they used to mend their relationship is not the same way this man will do to you. Number three, you are not your mother. You probably would be having an underlying, you understand? Mm-hmm. So only a slap is enough to kill you. So what then would they do if you died in a relationship that they wanted you to stay? Okay? Because they stayed. You understand? So I think my opinion is just that when it comes to matters marriage, regardless of how you have suffered for me, it has to become a personal decision. Yeah. It has to become a personal decision. You just watch me. Yeah. You watch me. It has to become as personal as it can be, because this is a person I am going to be sleeping in bed with every night. Okay? Because of course these other times we are outside together, we are with boys, we are with people, but the only time we get to be the two of us is when we're in our houses alone. So I want to choose a person that I would comfortably sleep at night and be sure I will wake up in the morning. Sure. So for me, my opinion is just the more we make it a personal decision, the better. I don't think we should get to the point of attaching ourselves to the people we've given birth to that extent where you feel like even in their adulthood, you still have decisions to make for them. Yeah. Of course, advice is good. It is good to advise your children, but then I should get to a place where I'm now able to be mature or old enough to make some personal decision.
I think it has always been a personal choice. Yeah. But society, and because people have been brought up to think or live in a certain way, then everybody will think that your parents have to say yes. But times have changed. I mean, this is a new era, this is a new generation. And people should just be allowed and let.
So now, baby, so people are blaming now the divorces and separations in marriage to the fact that we don't listen to parents anymore.
No.
So they think in our days we used to be beaten and we would stay. Yeah. In our days we used to listen to our parents. Now that you people have been given freedom, you don't stay in those marriages because you don't live in your marriages the way we used to live. What do you think is the reason for all these breakups and divorces of young people and whatever is happening in marriages?
Let me speak from a very personal point of view.
Yeah.
Sometimes as human beings, we'll enter into a relationship hoping that this is the way we wanted it to go.
Yeah.
Then somewhere in the middle, you're like, this is not what I signed up for.
Mm.
And since I'm a human being and I have my own mind, I choose what is good for me, not good for other people. I am the wearer of the shoe. I know how it feels to be in a toxic marriage, in a marriage where I am not being respected, in a marriage where I am crying day in and out. So I choose the way for me. And this is one thing I keep saying. I think as human beings, we need to learn to put yourself first. As much as we are married, you come first. I come first. So for me, it is not about we've never listened to our parents. It's about people now getting into a relationship. Halfway they realize, unless it is for other reasons, maybe you have cheated or those. I'm not talking about those. But if you are unhappy in a relationship, why are you killing yourself? And this is a quote that I saw somebody saying somewhere. Why live? How did that go? Why live to 80 years old and you died at 40? So that means you've lived for 80 years, but you've been dead for 40. That's a very miserable life to live.
That does not necessarily have anything to do with even marriage, baby.
No.
This is what I think. It is also possible for you to die at 40. When you're alone.
True.
So please don't blame your insecurities and your stupidity on your marriage.
No.
Okay. So the reason why we can be able to break up whenever we feel like is because from the onset, from the beginning, we had not we were not committed to this marriage.
Exactly.
And most of the reasons, a big percentage of the reasons is because people still want to go back to their exes. You know, you still want to date people at your workplace.
But do you believe that maybe along the way people change in their marriages?
Of course people do change because it's not like sex every day. 3 years later.
Except for
you know. But I'm thinking people do change, and it is like, babe, why you found me? I'm not the person that I was when you found me. Okay? Nilikuwa first kamkonde. Number 2, I didn't have a lot of money like I have today. Okay? So at some point money came in. What changed within me is the way I probably dress, or the way I have confidence in myself, and a few other things. But that should not make you feel like, since this guy started getting money, he behaves differently. All right? What has changed is who I am and what I have. But I believe you can attest to it that I still have the same heart that you found me with. And I still love you the same way I loved you even the first day. The same way I express my love to you has not changed, unless I've not noticed. Because again, ukianza kuwa mdosi na saa zingine au notice mwingine anaumia. But then I feel like how I was committed to this relationship is whatever comes my way. And I remember telling you many times that even if my music was I was gonna be kabisa completely finished by whatever happened to us, I would still love you.
But you see that you that is Peter, not everybody.
So that's why I'm saying I am saying this to address the issue of people changing and getting to a place where now the relationship has to end. I have to go to the next person, or someone else is better than my wife. This is what I think, baby, and this has really helped me and you. We have to talk about everything thing.
Yes, that's the difference.
So for me to just encourage, or probably just to highlight to someone who thinks this is almost the end of things, if your husband has not beaten you up, if he doesn't get abuse you physically, or doesn't abuse you at all, but you feel like there are things that you feel have changed, the best way to be able to solve things is to talk about everything, right?
But then
and even
who don't talk, so what happens?
I know there are people who don't talk, but then but that's now the point of being able to learn this person. But there's no way you can just live with someone in their house and they completely don't talk. There's that point. There'll always be a point where when you touch, things change. So it is for you to know that when my husband is not talking to me, there must be a problem. You already know. Like for you, when I'm not talking, you know what the problem is.
I like this.
So that's what you address.
When your bank balance goes kidogo down, I know there's a problem. There's a problem.
Yeah, so that's what you address. Okay? And of course I'll be in a space to just be able to explain to you how things are, how my workplace is, what is happening, what I need to do, and stuff like those. Understand? So then I think just from the space of growing the relationship, let's be able to have conversations. Let's be able to communicate efficiently, like communicate about everything, so that we are able to, if you feel like umeanza squeeze kunibo.
But do you know where that starts from?
Yeah.
For me, is when your relationship, when you're in that relationship and you're friends first.
Yeah.
Live alone, being married. Friendship, when you're friends, you can talk about anything, and that's one thing I have learned. And I think the basis of our relationship
was friendship. Yeah.
And that's why we are able to talk about anything.
So the point, I think the point here for us is we get into relationships for sex, then it becomes boring at some point because you've already gotten what you wanted. Because for our relationship, of course we had social media, in-laws and advisors and all those fools who think they know so much. The reason why I call people fools is because someone would make a judgment, and when you look at the judgment they're making it from a point of even confidence that what I'm saying is the truth. One of those fools is a lady who wrote a whole paragraph saying that I had moved in your house in I don't know, a place
yes,
a place you have never been. That would only be a fool. Okay, for you to feel like you can advise someone on a whole paragraph on something
you
don't even know about. So, baby, how has social media? How then are we gonna be able to live with social media and still be respectful to our husbands? Because I believe also there's a huge percentage of social media education and what we see on social media, especially what other couples are doing and all that stuff. How do you think we should be able to treat social media and to react to social media and still be in a respectful relationship and mend our relationship outside social media?
For me, I think one thing, I am always on my lane. I protect
your space.
My space. That is one. I don't look at what other people do because I believe in my relationship. So I don't want to emulate who is doing what. So I am so focused on I can't avoid but I am so focused on my relationship that I have no time for anybody else.
You can look at it, but you don't have to do it.
Yes, and I don't have to comment. I don't have to emulate.
Yeah.
So, how in the beginning it was very hard for me because, like most of people know, I was not in the public space. I came from a very private space to a very toxic kind of environment where people think they have opinions about how you should live, who you should marry, what you should eat, what you should wear, you know. So I have learned to somewhere in my mind, I have put this small space where I trash all that, you know, because it's not important for me. And I will not concentrate on social media to grow my relationship because it's not about them.
Yeah.
It's about...
It's a lot that happens on social media and it is business, okay? Yeah, people can be married for business. I've been seeing that lately, that, you know, we can have a relationship for business, you know, for endorsements and stuff like those. So it would be sad for you to want to emulate a relationship that is, you know, biashara. Thank you so much, baby, for the conversation today on Love Wins. Love has actually won, okay?
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it actually won, you know. And it's just amazing how we had this hashtag even before we got married. And Love Wins was a hashtag to say that, you know, we just need to love each other. You understand? We've seen it's general love, agape love, just love.
Oh, love.
And even the fact that even the word says that God loved the world, that he gave his son out of love. It was out of love that he gave his son, you know, for us to believe in him and have eternal life. So it wins. Love really wins. And for us, Love Wins love has really proven itself that, you know, that it does win, because we are in a good place now because of, you know, the love that we have for each other, and you know, what love has brought to us is amazing. Love has done, you know, great things.
And sometimes I pinch myself. I'm like, you know, and I think love can make you do so many things that you never ever thought. Because in my lifetime, I never imagined that I would be so open to just expressing who I am with my husband. You know, I don't feel like, you know, I need to cocoon myself or say, that's not for me to do. And I guess it's because of the kind of love that is around us.
So love does win. My name is Guardian Angel Odifaxed Peter, and this is my queen Esther
Musila Omwaka.
And this is a Love Wins show. Cheers. See you on the next one. Bless.